I'm an empath, and for me, that was really hard and tricky to learn how to navigate. And it took me, I'm 35 now, and I just kind of really started understanding the magnitude and responsibility that I took on with choosing to be an empath. So being an empath is very amazing. It's really awesome to be able to understand people's emotions without sometimes them understanding their emotions. But it's also been a long, hard road, right? So when I was younger, I was the shy, quiet, awkward kid because it was really hard for me to navigate what emotions were mine and what emotions I was picking up from other people. Or even if I was trying to make friends, right? And I went up to someone, and still to this day it's a little bit tricky because I can feel all their feelings when I walk up to them. And sometimes I'm like, oh, is that against me, or is that towards me, or is that their own stuff going on in their own world? So it's been a very big learning opportunity for me, and it's been eye-opening, and it's pretty amazing. So I just kind of wanted to explain a little bit about what it is like being an empath for those of you who may not truly understand the capabilities that you have with being an empath, and kind of the shadow side of having this responsibility. I feel like everybody can be an empath. It's whether how high that's turned on or off. Everybody's different. So I feel like mine is probably pretty high. So just know that there's different levels to your accessibility of that empath ability. So, for me growing up, I was that awkward kid. I didn't know how to understand my own emotions. So really, learning what it was like to feel lonely, sad, angry, shame, guilt, fear for myself in my own situations. It's really not the word I want to use, but through my own filter, then it was easier for me to see, if I was picking up on someone else's emotions and how it differs. So being an empath, you really are kind of taught how to manage people's emotions or take on people's emotions to neutralize situations as a young kid. And that can be really hard, and it can, project into the older years. Like, are you finding yourself in relationships that are showing the same patterns of, maybe that narcissistic patterns or people pleasing or quieting your own voice so that you keep the peace? How else could it show up? Maybe people that use you over and over again, and you keep going back to them because it feels right, because it's the pattern that you've taught yourself throughout these years, right? So being an empath is a huge gift. So the number one thing that I'm going to encourage you to do is really understand the emotions that are yours and the emotions that are other people's, and the difference that they feel, because in that alone is going to be huge for you, as it was for me. Then once you understand what emotions are yours and what emotions are someone else's, you can get rid of the other people's real quick, because it's not yours, so it's not attached to you. So once you realize that all you have to do is let it go, it goes. And the same for your own most of the time. So what I like to do is imagine a beautiful tree, and I put a door on that tree, and I open the tree door, and I just say, okay, whatever emotions aren't mine, I am letting go. I'm letting the tree take them, and I am no longer responsible for them because they are not mine, and I don't have to do anything with them. So I'm giving them up. So then once you're alone with your own emotions, I want you to see what emotion it is. And I want you to ask if there is anything there for you to learn about that emotion. Maybe patterns, maybe maybe where it is in your body. Maybe is it stuck? Are you holding on to it? And just see what it needs. What does that emotion need? Does it need to be expressed? Do you need to give it a voice? Do you need to just send it love and acceptance and then ask it to just leave? So I want you to just do that now. Pause the video, whatever you have to do, and just try that. See how many, different kind of emotions are in your body and where they are. And if you can just get rid of them. Most of the time, those emotions just need acceptance or acknowledgement or love, and they will go. For the trickier ones, just schedule an appointment with me. So yeah, so you did the tree. So now how do you protect yourself from picking up other people's? So for me, in my journey, I did this subconsciously, right? And it was confusing, and I was getting frustrated and angry because I'm like, oh, I've worked so hard on keeping my own emotions to myself, and I'm picking up other people's, and why am I keep doing this pattern? Well, then I had to go in and figure out why. Why am I continuing this pattern? Can it just go? Can I just recreate this pattern into something more positive or helpful? And I needed to heal it. I needed to heal the reason why I felt like I was responsible for other people's emotions. And that took probably a couple different sessions in different layers and contexts and lifetimes. And it was a journey, but I feel like it's a heck of a lot better now. I can spot other people's emotions just like that. I can understand that, when someone's throwing a little fear or guilt or shame at me, it's like I put something up, or I just push it back and just say, hey, that's yours, not mine. And I'm able to actually voice that now. When before, I couldn't even tell someone that I had a headache or a stomach ache because I was afraid that it was going to upset someone. It was that intense. But now I can talk about my feelings. I can talk about things that are hard now or were hard before. And it feels refreshing that I am able to understand myself, because I feel like once you understand yourself, you're creating this frame inside you, and you know what is you, and you know what guests or friends or intruders are coming in your door, right? You just cleaned it all up a little bit so that you can recognize the flow of different energies. So I challenge you to try the tree. I challenge you to try and sit with your emotions, understand them a little bit so that you can really know which ones are yours and which ones are other people's. Yeah, I hope that was helpful. I know that it's a hard journey, but it's manageable and it's doable, and I'm here to help you. So reach out, schedule a session, and just be patient and loving with yourself, because that's all we all want. Okay, love you and take care.